The Royal Enfield Classic, a perfectly proportioned motorcycle that has been in fashion ever since 1948, when the Royal Enfield G2 350cc Bullet was first produced. It was reintroduced in 2009 when the single cylinder Classic 350 and Classic 500 were launched. The bike, by any means, is not a really fast motorcycle that would scare you, or a really powerful one that competes with other brands. It just has enough that will make you go from point A to point B. However, with an upright riding position that is both commanding and comfortable. It has an unforgettable style that allows you to ride for hours and make it an easy ride, be it in the city, highways, or on the mountains. From the chromed up emerald to Jodhpur blue, the Royal Enfield Classic remains the best selling motorcycle for Royal Enfield in India. With the introduction of the 650 segment and models like the Interceptor, Continental GT 650, the Super Meteor 650, and the Shotgun 650, people kept wondering when will the Classic get this sweet upgrade? And then this year it happened. The big Classic 650 was revealed at the EICMA. This Classic packs the same engine as its other 650 cousins and the same lines as its smaller variant, the J Series Classic 350. The retro elements are simply spot on, like the classic teardrop tank, the signature triangular side panels with a lot of chrome, and even the headlamp peak, just perfection. Chef's kiss. The bike is said to be available in four colors: the black chrome, Brundingthorpe blue. I know this is quite the tongue twister name, but interestingly, this is named after a place in the UK. And I'm sure us Indians will shorten this to simple wo blue wala. The vellum and the teal. The teal, interestingly, is exactly the same color as the Classic 500, which was discontinued almost 5 years ago. To talk about the specs, let me start by mentioning that due to its classic nature, Royal Enfield has kept the technology aspect on this motorcycle to a minimum. We get the same classic large analog display which has a speedometer and a small digital screen that tells the odometer, trip meter, fuel level, service reminder, and for the first time on a classic, gear positioning indicator, and finally a clock. And you get a trip navigator as standard. We do get adjustable levers and a Type-C USB charger smartly hidden on the clutch lever. The same 6-speed gearbox in a 648cc parallel twin engine that makes almost 47 brake horses and 53 Newton meter of torque. Very similar tuning as the Shotgun 650. The headlamp and the tail light are both LED, now as standard. I'm sure people will get the option of LED turn signal as well from their GMA catalog. With a curb weight of 243 kilos, 2 kilos heavier than the Super Meteor 650, this Classic is said to be the heaviest and the longest Royal Enfield in production. It has a ground clearance of about 154mm, similar suspensions to the Shotgun, front 43mm Showa telescopic fork and rear Showa twin shocks, and a fuel tank of 14.8 liters, which is rather good. The seat height is 800 which makes this bike really accessible to every rider. The pillion seat, interestingly, is now offered as a standard accessory when you purchase the bike. The tires are from MRF with 100mm 19-inch front wheel and a 140mm 18-inch rear wheel. The wheels are spoked and, unfortunately, with tubes. I can only hope that Royal Enfield releases tubeless spoked wheels for this Classic soon, because fixing a puncture on this behemoth can be quite the challenge for your local mechanic. The brakes are 320mm at the front and 300mm at the rear, which is quite large for a rear brake setup. Probably the very first time Royal Enfield has had a 300mm rear disc brake, with dual channel ABS as standard. To talk about the price, being the heaviest, longest Royal Enfield with a lot of chrome, I think this would be priced between 3,70,000 and 3,90,000. The overall lines of the bike are undeniably classic. And needless to say that this classic will appeal to a lot many riders who want that mid-segment retro cruiser. This will be launched in January 2025 and its price will be launched in the Motoverse event, that is at the end of November this year. What do you think about this classic 650 and its possible price? Do let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video and giving me your time.